Is BYD, the world's largest EV maker, actually a massive con? Yeah, I know. That's a big claim. But this is the same company backed by Warren Buffett, the one that just dethroned Tesla in global EV sales. And yet, behind that shiny success story, there's a storm brewing. From battery safety doubts to government subsidies to international scandals. Today, we're going on a deep dive into BYD's rise to power. Its technology, its money, its customers, and the controversies that could pull it all down. And stick around, because the biggest red flag, it's one even BYD's biggest fans don't talk about. Part 1. Is BYD's battery tech the real deal? Let's start with what BYD is so proud of, its Blade battery. This isn't your typical EV battery. It's lithium iron phosphate, or LFP, and it's designed to be safer, cheaper, and way more space efficient. The safety tests? Wild. This battery literally took a nail through the core and didn't explode. That's a huge deal in EV safety. Experts like Professor Ouyang Mingao from Tsinghua University call it a game changer. But then, in 2021, a BYD Han EV caught fire, 48 hours after a crash test. What happened? Turns out the coolant used wasn't up to standard. That's not a battery flaw, but it is a systems issue. So, revolutionary battery? Yeah. But bulletproof? Not quite yet. And here's the twist. BYD isn't alone. Tesla's already shifting toward LFP in some models too. So maybe the Blade battery is less of a leap and more of a clever packaging story. Is BYD's financial growth built to last? BYD's revenue in 2024? A jaw-dropping 617 billion yuan. Back in 2022, their profits shot up 446%. That's no small feat. But let's rewind. From 2015 to 2020, BYD received about $4.3 billion in Chinese government subsidies. That's a massive head start most automakers would dream of. Now they're scaling globally, especially in Europe, where margins are actually higher than in China. But in 2025, something snapped. They slashed prices to keep up with fierce competition, and early customers? Furious. Some even protested after their car's value tanked overnight. BYD stock dropped 3.1% in a week. So the question is BYD riding a real financial wave or just surfing on political and public momentum? Part 3. Are BYD customers actually happy? All right, BYD might win on paper, but how does it feel behind the wheel? Let's talk about the BYD Atto Thresh, their global star. Reviewers love it. It's got a solid build, a quirky interior, a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, and great range for the price. But what are real owners saying? Well, it's a mixed bag. Australians have reported software glitches and laggy infotainment. Others complain about unreliable after-sales service, like waiting months for basic parts or updates. Here's a real quote from a verified BYD owner in Sydney. Love the design, but after 3 months, I still can't get a screen bug fixed. So the hardware's solid, but the ownership experience? Still playing catch-up. And in emerging markets like India, service infrastructure just isn't ready for this level of scale. Part 4. The controversies that could break BYD. This is where things get messy. BYD's not just fighting competitors. They're fighting their own reputation. Let's go through the biggest scandals. Battery recall confusion. Regulators had to push BYD for transparency after a safety issue. Customers say they weren't told the full story. Tax evasion in India. Allegedly underpaid over $9 million in duties. Not a great look when trying to build global trust. Quality complaints overseas. Warped roofs, chipped paint, corroding trims, and no fast fix in sight. Emissions scandal. Great Wall Motors publicly accused BYD of cheating emissions on its hybrids. And here's what stings. BYD's response? Often vague or deflective. In a global market, trust matters. And these missteps could haunt them. Especially in the West. So, let me ask you, would you drive a BYD? Leave a comment below. What's holding you back, or what made you say yes? And if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive, make sure to subscribe. I've got more EV investigations coming your way. I've got no verdict. Is BYD a con? So, is BYD a con? Let's recap. Their technology? Legit, especially the Blade battery. Their financials? Real, but boosted by subsidies and short-term plays. Their customer experience, promising but patchy. And their controversies, too many to ignore. So, no, BYD isn't a scam, but it might be a company growing faster than its foundation can handle. And if they don't tighten the screws on quality and transparency, this global EV giant could face some very real setbacks. If this video gave you new insight, smash that like button. And hey, hit subscribe, because next we're breaking down Tesla's secret robotaxi network. This is just the beginning of a wild ride in the EV world. And I want to hear from you. Would you trust a BYD with your family's safety? Drop it in the comments. See you next time.